What's up, everybody? Ted here, TNT Strength and Conditioning. I'm on the road. Figured I'd shoot a video. As you can tell, I'm trapped in the steering wheel. Anyway, today I want to share with everybody some experiences I've had about people who have been influential in my life. And first off, the first person I want to mention has had the greatest influence to me when it comes to hard work ethic, and being committed to putting in the hard work even when, tough times are tough and you don't want to. You still do what you have to do. And that person is my father. My father is the hardest working person I have ever seen or met in my life. And I don't just mean like the physical hard work. I mean the mental stuff, like being able to continue to go to work, go when you don't want to. I grew up, my dad worked all day, a long day. He would stay late. He would work weekends. Pretty much every weekend he did what he had to do to provide for our family. And when he would come home, he would work around the house, splitting firewood, stacking firewood, doing various yard work, repairs around the house. My dad did it all. And when I was old enough, when I say old enough, I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, he started bringing me to work with him on the weekends. And I would be painting houses, refinishing hardwood floors, and refinishing cabinets, and various repairs to homes. And I learned a great deal about going to work and how important it is to go to work and earn what you have. There was never any take from those who do because you won't. And what I mean by that is, if you wanted to earn or have something in my household, you had to earn it. You had to work for it. You weren't just given things. You worked for it. And I've carried that influence of working hard ever since I was a kid. Watching my dad work hard. I mean, the guy he's really, really skilled. For not being a master carpenter, a master plumber, electrician, my dad is very skilled in all those things. Repaired his own vehicles, pretty much did everything around the house, built a garage, did the roof. He does it all himself. I don't even know how he knows how to do all this stuff. I know a small portion of what he knows. Some people may think I'm really skilled when it comes to that stuff, but not like my dad. And that's because of his hard work ethic he's always had. And it's inspiring, and it's been a huge influence in my life to not be lazy. And I've carried that over to everything. And the second person I'd like to talk about is someone that got me into the sport of powerlifting. I heard of powerlifting. I really was very naive to it. I didn't know what it was. I knew what squats were and bench pressing was and deadlifts, but I didn't really know much about competitive powerlifting. Never thought I could be a powerlifter. Just it never even crossed my mind. It wasn't something I thought I couldn't do. I just never thought about it. And one day, a guy named Jose Perez, a local guy in my area, very, very successful powerlifter for a long time, even to this day, competed at world events, 80s, 90s, sets records, and still setting records in the Masters division. Anyway, I knew of him, didn't know much though, and he came up to me in a commercial gym setting, and was like, "Hey, you got a lot of talent, man. Why don't you squat with us one day?" And I'm like, "Talent in what?" I never looked at strength training as a skill. I was just working out. And, obviously he invited me to, and I always liked pushing hard, and I knew he was pretty strong. I didn't realize just how strong he actually was and is. And did some squat workouts with him, and that turned into some deadlifts, and then that turned into him mentoring me towards powerlifting. He brought me to my very first powerlifting meet and to watch as a spectator, because I was still on the fence if it was something I was, capable of doing. I kind of had doubts. I was doubting, like, oh, maybe I'm not strong enough. I'm not like that type of competitiveness when it comes to working out. And I watched this powerlifting meet, and inside this powerlifting meet, the first half of it was females. A lot of them were like young, either teenager, late teen, early 20-year-old powerlifters, and I'm like, wait a minute, these girls can do it. And I used to just kind of be like, narrow-minded. I would think like, girls play field hockey, girls do cheerleading, soccer, but man, these girls were out there under the barbell, just like I was doing. And it was, and that was inspiring to me. And this one woman in particular, young lady, about my age, I think the same age, maybe a year older at the time, she came out and was hitting these big numbers, big squat, big bench press, big deadlift. And come to find out now, all these years later, she's literally the strongest woman in the IPF. Her name's Kim Walford. And watching her lift and her intensity and her focus on the platform and like hitting these lifts that I wasn't even really doing. Definitely if I was at her numbers at the time, I wasn't doing them in that competitive stance. So Jose bringing me there and watching her was like, whoa. I mean, that just influenced the heck out of me to like get after it. Like, man, who am I to say I can't do that? Like, it just fired me up. Like, I was inspired to just get under the barbell under the competitive setting. And Jose kind of guided me that way. And it's been a huge influence in my style of lifting and my intensity. Like, I used to work out, and I thought I worked out pretty hard. And I'm not talking about the weight on the bar or how many reps you do. I meant like, I thought I was like pretty into it mentally. But man, when I started training under Jose Perez's guidance and programming, it brought a level of intensity in here that I didn't even know I had. Get fired up under that barbell to make it move. Like, I realized that heavy weights don't move without some kind of switch going off in the mind, or going on in the mind, to just bring in a focus that nothing else matters around you but what you're doing in that exact moment. And I mean, when I start thinking about like lifting, that intensity in my mind, right now it's like kind of firing me up, like it just something I can just kind of turn on. And I never knew that existed until I started training with Jose. So that was like a huge influence to me on who I am today, with the way I lift, the way I think. So when you couple those two people together, I mean, I've had a lot of great people in my life that have influenced me in one way or another. Some I've learned to not be like. I've met a lot of people like, whoa, like I'm going the opposite direction of them, so that's an influence to not be like that. But I'm just keeping it positive here and just want to talk about those two particular people. So when you couple the work ethic that my father instilled in me since I was a little boy, and the intensity and showing me the sport of powerlifting that Jose did, you got Coach Ted that you have today. I knew nothing of powerlifting, and now I'm running this gym. It's a regional training center for USA Powerlifting. I'm trying to build up youth athletes at a very young age, bring them into the sport through the youth division, through USA Powerlifting, adult athletes, keep them going, and keep myself competitive and training and, participating in different events. We just did the New Jersey Powerlifting Championship, shooting this video in August 2016, and there was 3 of us, myself included, and we all did well. We all had a great meet. We all put up numbers that we've been working hard for, and the future looks bright for my athletes that I brought. A month from now, in September, I got 3 youth athletes coming into their first powerlifting meet. One of them is 11 years old, one is 12, and one will be 13 for about a month. He turns 13 the end of this month, and that's the end of September, so he'll be 13 for about a month when he competes. And it's pretty awesome watching these young guys who, when they came to me, they couldn't really do proper push-ups, proper body weight squats, to being able to, handle the barbell with good technique and respectable weight on the bar as a youth athlete. It's impressive to me. I mean, them guys are influences to me too. Just watching them develop, I get fired up. I get inspired. They influence me to continue to learn as a coach and push forward in learning. So, that being said, I hope you out there listening to this video can find and think about who's been a positive influence or stories in your past that have influenced you in a positive way, and build off of them. Live a great life. I want to thank you for watching this video. I'll throw some links down below. You can find us on the social media website if you're interested in what's happening in TNT or at TNT Strength and Conditioning here in Manahawkin, New Jersey. Hit me up, schedule a free workout. We'll have a good time. Till then, later.